Irish 101 Game Day is sponsored by the Notre Dame Football Heritage Project, mysportsheritage.com. Irish 101 is also sponsored by Irish Illustrated. Become a subscriber today on the web at irishillustrated.com. And by Indiana Dunes Tourism. For information, visit indianadunes.com.
What I'd like to improve on is we need to get off to a better start, in the game.
That's Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly talking about this week's preparation for the University of South Florida. The Bulls entered Notre Dame Stadium with a record of 1-0 after defeating the Citadel last week, while the Fighting Irish are 1-0 after opening the 2020 season with a 27-13 win over the Duke Blue Devils.
Our practices have been really good, very purposeful. Guys have been locked in. Flipping from a practice mindset to a competition mindset is a big difference. And so I'd like to get sharper there. Our practices have been pretty good. I've been pleased with their focus, how locked in they've been. But we have to get off to a better start. We talk about 4 quarters of football. For us is get off to a good start. Have an attention to detail, which our attention to detail wasn't great at times, especially defensively. We gave up some uncharacteristically big plays, which was about attention to detail. But the second half, which is effort and enthusiasm, was outstanding. And then we finished strong. Those are 4 quarters of football for Notre Dame, and that's always been our standard. We've got to clean up those first 2 quarters. So practice has been good. The focus has been good. When we flip to a competitive mindset, we got to be better in those first 2 quarters.
With a look at the Bulls of South Florida, here's Fighting Irish Previews. Phil Houk.
The South Florida Bulls finished 4-8 a year ago and cleaned their coaching staff house. Clemson offensive coordinator Jeff Scott takes over as head coach. New coordinators will include 27-year-old Charlie Weiss Jr. on offense. The Bulls opened last week with a 27-6 win over the Citadel, and for at least 3 reasons, it's difficult to learn a lot from that game. First of all, Citadel runs a triple option, so the defensive looks were unconventional. Secondly, 3 of USF's offensive linemen did not play, but should be back this week. And third, 2 quarterbacks split time for the Bulls, and they have very different styles. Sophomore quarterback Jordan McLeod looks to be the passer, and grad transfer Noah Johnson is the runner, and both played a lot. Sophomore Kelly Joyner led the running attack with 87 yards on just 8 carries. But also look for 5'5", 172-pound sophomore Johnny Ford to get involved. He wears number 1 and last week ran for 71 yards on 9 carries. Threats to catch the football will be juniors Bryce Miller and Randall St. Felix, who are last year's top receivers. But look for the ball to be spread around. Last week, 11 different players caught passes. On defense, 7 starters return, and 2 players to keep an eye on are junior linebackers Dwayne Boyles and Antonio Greer. Boyles led the team in tackles a year ago, and Greer led them in tackles last week. Charlie Weiss Jr. is known for his hyper-tempo offense and substitutes constantly to keep his players fresh. And coming back to Notre Dame means something extra to him and his family. Other than that, with an all-new coaching staff, unsettled quarterback situation, missing players, and the first game having been against triple option, there are a lot of unknowns here. For Irish 101 Game Day and Fighting Irish Preview, I'm Phil Houk.
Coming up this afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium, it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, ranked 7th in the country, taking on the Bulls of South Florida. For Fighting Irish Previews, Phil Houk, I'm Len Clark of Irish 101. Thank you for watching, and go Irish!